Assalamu alaikum. It's a third-party podcast, season 3, episode 4 with Shakoor Woodson.
It's Mr. Woodson, and I'm on season 3, episode 4 of the third-party podcast. Assalamu alaikum.
Yo, assalamu alaikum. It's a third-party podcast. I'm Muslim Kason, a.k.a. the Muslim Boxer, a.k.a. Mr. 12 and 0 non-KOs, a.k.a. Mr. Future World Champion, a.k.a. Mr. Fun, a.k.a. Mr. Funny. And I'm here with my co-host, Rod DeVoe. What's happening?
Assalamu alaikum, Rod DeVoe, third-party podcast. You sure you Mr. Funny, bro?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Funny.
Hey, listen. Hey, today we got, our guest is Shakoor Woodson. Shakur is an up-and-coming social media star. Boy, rap Philly too, bro.
Philly.
Like home team, right?
Yeah.
He's also...
Uptown to be exact.
Uptown?
Mhm.
All right. He's an educator. He's a father, a son. A quick glance at any of his content and you're going to be cracking up. He's going to have you laughing. Welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
Sir, appreciate you.
Hey, listen. So I want to start with how your stuff came across. Is a skit you got with your mom called "We Listen and We Don't Judge."
Yeah.
Yo, listen.
Yeah, that was a joint.
Talk about how you come up with the idea, like how your mom take it. Like talk about it a little bit.
All right, so a lot of the content with my mom came from me, again, just trying to have like another aspect or another layer to my content. Cause I feel like the teaching stuff, yeah, that's like surface level. That's like who I am at like my heart, like with my community and stuff. But I'm also like super duper funny. Like I think I'm one of the funniest people I know. I think like my mom is one of the funniest people I know.
Right.
I think like low key, my little brother is one of the funniest people I know too. So incorporating like my little brother and my mom in my content just felt natural. And like my mom is like a naturally funny human being. Like when people be like, yo, Shakur, did you say that? Like, I can't believe you said it out of your mouth and stuff like that. It's really because I get it from my mom.
Yeah.
My mom is completely unhinged.
Talk about what your mom mean to you in that relationship.
Yeah, my mom is like my heart. Like my mom is my world. It was always just me, my mom, and my little brother. Like it was always us. Yeah, like my mom got married a couple times because we was raised Muslim. Me and my little brother was born Muslim. My mom took her shahada, I want to say in like the 80s.
Okay.
And she's been like Muslim ever since.
Right.
We all have our shortcomings and all that, but my mom is like, I need to do this, that, and this because I need to get to paradise.
Wow.
And she's not deviating from that.
Yeah.
So she be on that. So we are like, it's always been us. And I got older brothers and I got older sisters and younger, I got all older brothers and older sisters, but it's always just been us three, no matter what. And everything I do is for them though.
Yeah.
Like everything I do is either for like my block, my family, or myself.
Like where do you think that come from though?
I don't know. Like I always had a knack or like a passion to like help people.
Mm-hmm.
And like I like taking care of people. And I feel like if I continue to like develop and like build my brand out to where I want it to be, where I feel like it could go, I'll be able to take care of everybody around me.
What made you want to start the influencing?
To be honest, it found me.
Okay.
I got a real good friend, like one of my best friends. Their name is Teacher Ruby. And I used to work with them at KIP. And they was on Instagram. I mean, they was on TikTok like right before the pandemic start, but their like niche was like them being non-binary, a part of the LGBTQ community, but also being a teacher and how they infused that into education.
Right.
And I seen them do a vid, and right after like the pandemic a little bit, they did a video about how kids don't call them Miss or Mrs. It's teacher in the last name. And that John got 30 million views. Yeah. It got 30 million views, over 100,000 comments. And it's just about like a lot of people either having an opinion about LGBTQ stuff being infused in education. And that was like one of the things that like super catapulted them. But they was just like having a conversation with kids. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I could have conversations with kids. Like I give like directions, I think, better than like anybody. like I told you earlier, like I love talking. So I
Yeah.
like when I talk and when I'm especially giving directions to kids, I like being super clear and concise. So that way it's no gray area or nobody's like confused. I one day propped my camera up because I was actually covering a class. And I like propped my camera up and I'm like, I'll make a vid. Like I'm gonna make a vid of me giving directions. I made that joint. I looked up, like I posted it. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna do nothing. It had 10,000 views in an hour.
Right.
But then it just kept going.
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
kept going. And then I'm like, all right, let me put it on Instagram because before I used to dance with my kids.
Yeah.
And that was when like Dub Smash and TikTok was like just starting. And I'm like, I'm not gonna join TikTok. Cause I'm like, yo, I don't want to join TikTok. I feel like it's for kids. I made a terrible mistake with that. But we good. Like we catching up. But I was like dancing with my kids and like that was like a big little thing, like a hit in Camden.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I don't really dance with that group no more because they graduated.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to do it with no other kids.
Right.
So I'm like, is this something else I could do? I posted it on Instagram, my teacher page, and that John did the same amount of numbers it did on Instagram.
Right.
I mean, on TikTok. Like over both my platforms, that video has been viewed over 3 million times.
Sheesh.
Together, collaboratively,
Very nice.
collectively.
That's what's up.
And that's what started it. It was like, all right, cool. I did that video. People like, we want to see more. People was like females are like showing me a lot of attention and like all of this stuff. So it's like I still need to keep doing that. Like I'm on it. Yeah. Like where I'm from, like me and my bros, all we talk about is like chicks, money, and all this other stuff. So like me being a person that could always come back to the block and be like, yo, this chick doing this. This chick said this. Right. I felt like that guy. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing it. And I do love attention though.
So like what part of Philly you from?
Uptown.
Oh, you said Uptown, right?
To be exact.
So
Yes,
what high school? What high school you went to?
See, yeah, I like these type of questions. I went to 5 high schools.
Wow.
Yeah.
5.
I went to Germantown High School before it closed. I want to say like 2 years before it closed.
Okay.
Because I went to Roosevelt Middle School, and that's like where they sent us.
Uh-huh.
After that, I was on a waiting list for MOTEP.
Okay.
I got into MOTEP. I went there for a year and some change.
Uh-huh.
Then I had to move to South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And I went to a high school down there called Richland Northeast.
Uh-huh.
They're like known around the country, if you ever heard of it, because they used to host the Chick-fil-A Classic for high schools. Like some of the top high schools in the country would go there for the Chick-fil-A Classic. It's
Like
not a thing
what
no
sport?
more. Basketball.
Basketball, all right.
Yeah, it's not a thing no more. Then when I came back, I went to Hope Charter.
Okay.
Like a disciplinary school, but I went there to play basketball, not because I was like in trouble. And then I finished my high school career at Martin Luther King. I really moved around school to school for athletics. Like I played basketball.
How you feel like that impacted the quality of like your high school? Or because it was ball, like you were
I think because it was basketball, I got to experience a lot.
Right.
I also got to meet people because I was at so many different schools.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people just because I went to school with them. And I think that was like the best part. I feel like I actually went through high school and it was high school.
Right.
Like I got to see like the public schools. I got to see the charter schools, and I got to see the school that got a Chick-fil-A built in their cafeteria.
Yeah.
So it's like, I really felt like I experienced high school the way I would want my kids to experience high school. Even though I went to a bunch of schools.
Right, right.
Oh, that's dope.
After high school, you you go to college, obviously.
Yeah. I went to college. Well, I had a couple options to like go to different schools to play basketball because, I mean, I was pretty good. I wasn't like the best person in the city, but I was like on the best team in the city. We had a lot of exposure and resources. Like my high school coach
at M-Hotel, right?
King.
At King.
Yeah,
okay.
King. Because my coach was Sean Colson. He led the country in assists before. He went to a public school and won a championship in a pub and stuff like that. He played in the NBA. So we had like a lot of like resources backing us to get eyes on us to play basketball.
Yeah.
And we played like some of the like craziest names you could think about. Like I played against Lonnie Walker in the state playoffs. I played against BJ Johnson, who was in the league. I played against a bunch of people who went to the NBA, like Brandon Austin, Rasheed Jordan. Like they was in my class.
Yeah.
So I graduated with those dudes playing against them. We played in an all pub game together, all that stuff.
As you navigating this, you Muslim, right? You born Muslim. Like talk about the impact of that, like why you navigating high school, being a ball player, like what that meant and how you kind of manage manage that with, because obviously you play ball, you like attention, you get attention and stuff like that.
So to be honest, like, all right, I grew up, I was born Muslim. I grew up like practicing heavy. Like I knew like 10, 12 surahs at like 10. I went to an Islamic school.
Okay.
I was a part of Jawala Scouts.
Okay.
Where I met like some dynamic people, met like strong relationships. And then we moved, me, my mom, my little brother, we moved from where we was and moved into like the family house that we have now. Around that time, like my mom priorities shifted, which also shifted me and my little brother priorities.
Okay.
So like we wasn't like praying as much. We wasn't like reciting Quran as much as we should have been. So that also carried through high school. So in high school, I was still like Muslim. Like I'm never going to not be Muslim, no matter one of my shortcomings. Inshallah, I'm never like denouncing this religion.
Right.
It's just I wasn't like practicing.
Right.
And my high school experience wasn't affected by me being Muslim because I like never ate pork. I never like went to church. Like I never did like the traditional things like you might know like a Muslim like just not doing.
Right.
But I was also like doing the stuff that like you're not supposed to be doing and like claiming that you're a Muslim. So I just like knew what I was supposed to be doing, but I did not like figure it out until I became a father.
You say you became a father. Is that when the change came, or was it before?
So it was like right before. And it's crazy. Like, I never told nobody this story though. I think I was like walking up my block where my mom lived. And it was during Ramadan one year when it was like the weather was nice. And I was fasting, but I wasn't praying. So I think it was my little brother, or it was like one of my homies. He was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, if you not bumping, there ain't no need for you to be fasting, okay? Like, I don't know what you want. Yeah, you might as well go ahead and eat.
You wasting your time.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn.
Hungry for nothing.
And I think this was like 2 weeks into Ramadan though. So I'm like, bro, I ain't bumping, but I'm just like starving myself. Like, I'm tripping. So after that, I started to like really realize like, yo, I can't like try to half-ass it.
Yeah.
Even though I am Muslim, and I wasn't realizing at the time that like we all gonna have shortcomings, and like at the end of the day, you still muck. I was like, all right, I gotta figure it out. Like, am I gonna keep like not praying, or I'm gonna like do everything that needs to be done?
So take us through this process.
Yeah. So like after that, I started like bumping and fasting, and then once Ramadan was over, like I fell off again. But then when I became a dad, I want to say, but I think it was like 2 summers after that, I was like, all right, what do I want for like my legacy and like my family?
Right.
Like, do I want my kids to grow up and be like, yeah, my dad half-assed the religion? Or do I want my kids to like know surahs at like the young age that I was? Do I want my kids to know how to like pray? Because I got a daughter and a son. Like, I want my son to be able to like lead salat sometimes. Yeah. Like, I want that to be a thing. So, inshallah, like my son is actually in Islamic school right now.
Nice.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was I had to force myself to try to wake up every day. Then, you miss some, then you try to, you get back on. What was that process? And I mean, that's going deep in depth about, if you want, about the process of really fighting, I guess what we call nefs. And for nefs, this is desires, not wanting to wake up, wanting to, go party or do something like that. How was it fighting those desires?
It's only hard to me when I feel like you don't got those type of people around you. Like, I actually started to like super, super duper get super locked in a little bit after like my little brother got shot. Because I'm like, damn. Like I don't know if y'all know, but like if anything was to like happen to like somebody in your life and you feel like that is it, I'm like, damn, what is like next type shit. And my little brother, like after he got shot, he cold turkeyed everything. Like, he was smoking before like I ever like attempted to smoke or attempted to take like a drink. And when he got shot, like he just went cold turkey completely. Was like bumping every 5, like all 5 every day. Like, got married, did all that. And I'm like, all right, I could do that too. Yeah, but then one Ramadan happened. Like, and this was like recent, I want to say like 4 Ramadans ago. This was when like I like really like turned the page, I feel like, for myself.
Mhm.
I was with my little brother Ish, and we spent the whole month together. The whole month together. Praying totally, going to the masjid every like John. Like I'm praying behind him. Like his pop is like super duper locked into the religion. Like he super knowledgeable young boy. And when the month was over, like I cried. Like I cried.
Yo,
and I'm like, yo, bro,
crazy,
like I don't want like our relationship to fall off.
Man.
Like, bro, like you really helped me like figure out what I need to do to make sure that inshallah I get to paradise.
I mean,
and ever since then, and like I said, when my little brother got shot, like all of that stuff like turned the page for me to making sure that no matter what I do, I keep my religion at the forefront. Cause I know I still, again, I make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I know when I do make those Jones, I'm still thinking like, damn, I gotta make Toba for this John.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So it was relatively recent, even though I was born Muslim.
Yeah.
It's just because, again, like I said, from like 1 to 10, my priority was my religion. Then when I moved, they got shifted because of like my mom. And then when I became like an adult, I'm like, all right, it's all of my sins and stuff, like I'm gonna be accounted for.
Yeah.
I started to learn a little bit more and like regain the knowledge I had as a child.
So we do these interviews and we talk to a lot of people. Just the power of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Like
I actually can't, I need it.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just like it's a reoccurring theme. Whether people born Muslim or they convert, like the power of Ramadan is amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, just hearing the way
supercharge.
Yeah.
And the way it just touched people's lives and changed people's lives and like
no, definitely changed my life.
So
and I don't want to be called a Ramadani. Like me and my homies, like we
Ramadani?
Like, yeah, like we clown people for like.
So, but look, I have a different perspective on that because I feel like any reason to do good is a good reason to do good.
No, for sure.
Even if it's just even if it's just Ramadan, like because that could be that turning point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I just don't
just think about how you was when you was.
No, but that's the thing. Like I just don't like right now. Like if somebody was to call me a Ramadani, like I wouldn't take offense to it because it's like, damn, like I'm posting me going out and shit.
Right.
Like you feel me?
Yeah.
Like I can see if like you didn't do that stuff. Like you really kept like your sins to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like a person that's like posting it,
right?
A person that's like promoting it, a person that's like doing what I'm doing, I feel like what I'm doing right now, like if somebody called me Ramadani, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like,
how do you reconcile that though? Yeah. Like, cause I'm sure
you just stop.
You're visibly Muslim,
yeah.
Right? Like, I
think you just stop.
But when people coming at you about certain stuff, like, or
well, no, I'm not a person who like don't know that they shit stink. Like, if you saying something about me and I know it's true, like, I'd be like, all right,
just
damn.
take it like,
yeah, no, I ain't taking that, no Diddy, but I'm just like, no, like I ain't, like I like a person could tell me like, yo, you want some bullshit, and if I want some bullshit, I'm like, you right.
Yeah,
that's just how I am.
So you mentioned you was living with your dad. What's that like? What's that relationship like? What has it been like?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where'd you learn how to get, be a man?
Where I learned how to be a man?
Yeah,
not him.
Okay,
like me and my little brother got the same mom and dad.
Okay.
So I'm the oldest in that like that nuance of our family, right?
Yeah.
And I always, as a youngin, wanted to like be around my pop.
Okay.
Cause I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
is your pop's like, Muslim?
Supposed to be.
All right.
So it's like, I wanted to be around my pop.
Yeah.
Like I used to tell my mom and shit, like, yo, like send me with my dad. Like, where my dad?
Right.
And then one conversation led to another, and I ended up going out there to live with him. But like that's why I always like talk to people about the relationship with me, my mom, and my little brother. Cause I was over there for a good while. In Vegas.
Okay.
But I couldn't get over the fact that like my little brother wasn't here. I couldn't get over the fact that like I wasn't talking to my mom. I'm like, no, this ain't it, bro. I thought it was cool. I tried it out or whatever. Like, okay, cool. Now I want to go back. Like I made my pop send me back.
So do you think like was it you guys working towards building a relationship or?
I mean, I was young. I just wanted to like, again, like we go back to like me liking attention.
Yeah.
That came from me not having my pop.
Right.
And my mom showing me attention, but like, again, I got a little brother.
Right.
So like, that's the baby.
You taught in the classroom for a bit. All right. So how did you get into teaching?
That shit found me too. I swear. Like I was in school and my girlfriend at the time, I got her pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And again, like, it's just a crazy segue because, again, I didn't want to be like my dad. So I told myself I could put school on pause. I got to go get some money for my family that I'm about to have. Like, I created this family. I got to go hit the ground running and get some bread.
Right.
So some other girl that I was dealing with, she was like, yo, I know this like company that's hiring people right now. And I know you work with kids, because I've been a camp counselor since I was 14.
Okay.
So she was like, do this job, and it's called the Delta T Group, and they place you in a school. And I signed up, like, I got a job, and they placed me at my first ever school. Was Young Scholars Kennerton Charter School in North Philly behind Temple.
Okay.
And I started off as a one-on-one to a kindergartner.
Mm-hmm.
And young boy was wild. I mean, like, he used to literally, like, take chairs, chuck them across the room. We would have to, like, evacuate the class so he could, like, lose his mind. And then we calm him down and then bring the class back.
Wow.
But I mean, like, he's 5, right? So he'll go home and, like, have a bunch of wild stories, all of that, to say that his mom ultimately didn't want me to work with him no more because she didn't feel like the relationship was working. So the school still wanted me to work there, though. So they put me in an emotional support classroom, whereas, like, 4 or 5 students where, like, their needs aren't only academic, they also have social and emotional needs that triggered them to act a certain way.
Right.
I was in there, and that's where I, like, developed the love for, like, doing, like, the work that I do now, like the dean work, like giving, like, directions, making sure, like, kids know what to do and how to do it so that way they're not confused. I did really good in that class, like, really, really good, to the point where the school wanted to hire me, like, bring me on, like, under their charter and not work for the other company no more. So throughout that process, we was doing that, and then they lost their charter. And then the school district took them back over. And because I wasn't, like, where I'm at right now in my career, like, I couldn't work at a public school. So I end up leaving there, and they gave us, like, 3 months to try to find other jobs, and, like, gave us recommendations on where to go. And then that's when I started to understand the charter space.
Right.
So I did interviews at my old elementary school, at Mastery, and I did a couple interviews in Jersey.
Okay.
Did an interview in Jersey for the school, Kip Whittier Middle School. It was the first year of its existence. Like, it was like I was a part of the founding staff. It was only 12 of us and our 100 kids. And that's where then I, like, super, like, figured out that, like, I could be good at education.
Right.
And then I started off as a para with them. Para the next year.
What's a para?
A para, so it's like a person that has, like, a caseload of kids where they just check in on them throughout the day.
Okay.
Or, like, if I had, like, 1 or 2 kids, I would sit with them for multiple periods at a time to make sure that they not, like, get in trouble, or if they haven't, like, if they need help with their work.
Right.
It's all a part of, like, their IEPs and, like, all that stuff. Like, that's a whole different, like, space. Yeah, I did that really well. And then the 3rd year, I became a gym teacher.
Okay.
And then I did that for 2 years.
Gym teacher.
Yeah, but then after that, they started, because, like, our school, like, developed until it became full grown. Like, we had 8th graders. We started with just our 5th graders. They grew and became 8th graders.
You filled the classes underneath. As you,
yeah. We added a grade each year. And then they was holding interviews for the dean job. And they like, yo, you can do it. Like, you should do it.
Right.
Like, my mentor was like, I think, like, you could, like, also run a school of your own at some day.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it. I went through all the stuff, and I became the youngest dean ever in KIPP, New Jersey history.
Wow. How old are you at this time?
23.
23. Wow.
Yep.
How did that feel?
Like, really rewarding. Like, it felt like the culmination of all of the stuff that I had to go through, because working in school spaces as a Black person that has a lot of charisma, and, like, people just naturally gravitate towards you, you attract also a lot of hate. You attract also a lot of, like, eyes, and a lot of people just trying to critique and pick out the bad things, but will never celebrate the good things. And throughout my career, even still now, like, perception and perspective are, like, the things that always are at the top of mind. Because I feel like I'm a dynamic educator,
right? But
it's always going to be a person that feel like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing what's right by kids.
Or you don't look the part. You know,
I don't look the part. Yeah.
Like you know, got the hair, like, you know, so So navigate. So it's commendable for you to excel and understand. I mean, you know, I'm sure you know the statistics about black male teachers.
Less than 1% of us exist in the space.
Many black children go through school and never have a black male teacher. And I think it's a statistic about how much more successful.
You 3% more. You are 3 times more likely to succeed as a kid in urban spaces when you have a black teacher. Like if you go through your entire academic career without a black teacher, you are 3 times less likely to succeed.
So like places that you are at, how do they feel about like your content?
I can't talk about this school because I literally had to sign an NDA.
Okay.
But one of the schools that I was at, we literally had to like separate because of my content.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
I was about to say, all right, but I get it. You can't.
I can't name the school, but
How do you like? How do you like manage that though? You're a role model in the classroom.
Yeah.
I'm sure like you probably all the black kids, boys in particular, favorite teacher. You a ball. You know what I mean? And you know, how do you like keep that and at the same time post what you post?
It's like that's like a multi-answer question for me. Like I got 2 separate Instagram accounts.
Okay.
That's one way. I actually made my other Instagram account like the one that like attracts like all the attention and stuff because I wanted a space to have for my family's kids and other people that were just like interested in what I was doing. I obviously didn't want people also to be on my private page because I just do different things over there.
Yeah.
And things that like would be completely scrutinized. Like if you had to like give me like a grade or a report card on like stuff I do as a teacher, I think like I will always get an A+ in like building relationships.
Right.
Like no matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, I'm building relationships with my kids. And I think even like with the kids that I don't work with no more because me and the school had to part ways, I still talk to those kids. I still talk to some of the staff. I still talk to those families. And it was a school in Philly. So like they are me. Like those kids are me. I went through the same exact things they're going through, maybe even worse. I try to make sure that like I'm extremely relatable and I make sure that kids know I love them at the end of the day. Like I could be like hard as nails on you as a kid, but I'm also going to show you an abundance of love.
Right.
How's your relationship? How's your relationship with your son? What's that dynamic like? You being a teacher. Do you bring the teacher out? Is Mr. Woodson
actually bring the teacher out talking to my friends? Like people be like, "Yo, I'm not one of your students." Like I hear my homie say it to me all the time.
I'm giving you clear directions here.
Like yo, like chicks that I've talked to in the past be like, "I'm not one of your effing kids." Like,
right.
You right. But I just how I like operate now. I've been doing this for 10 years. Like that's all I know. And but my son though, I embrace.
Is your son living with you?
No.
Okay.
I embrace like the uncomfortability of like those type of questions. Because it's something that I never really talk about. And I really like talking about it, though, because it makes me feel better.
Right.
But, like, the relationship with my son is, like, something that's still in the works. He only 7.
Right.
And we've never lived in the same house together.
Yeah.
Like, he lived in Houston.
Wow.
Yeah. Him and his mom, they up and, like, did their thing.
Right.
Because, obviously, like, we weren't together. And she felt like what was best for them was for them to go live in Houston. And I didn't push back on it a ton because my baby mom didn't come to me without a plan. She moved 2 years after she told me she was doing it.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I wasn't like opposed to it. Because I'm like, you got a plan. I trust you as a mom. I'm not mad at you at all. Go ahead. And it obviously put a strain on like me and my son relationship though because he's so far and he's so young.
Right.
So like it's not like when I call him, he's like really eager or engaged to be on the phone, right? Like he's 7 years old. Like he don't want to sit on the phone and talk to his dad.
Right.
He want to be able to be on his iPad. He want to be able to just watch TV. He don't want to have to like, he doesn't even know like the idea of like that responsibility.
Yeah.
It do hurt me.
Right.
Like I wear it every day.
Yeah.
Like I talk to my little brother all the time about it. I talk to like people that I care about it. It's like, yo, I wear that every day.
I mean, you forming relationships with kids every day, and then
I can't even see my kids.
Right.
Like it do hurt. But at the same time, it's something that I know Allah is making sure that I understand. I know it's something that Allah is putting me through, because at the end of the day, on the other side of it, I'm gonna be able to like enjoy being a dad.
Absolutely.
I don't right now though, to be completely transparent, because I don't feel like I get the opportunity to.
So I mean, just naturally, like the situation with your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter live in California. Yeah, and like a lot of people will never know that.
Yeah.
Ever, unless like we engage in a conversation about it. But I'm just not like walking up to somebody telling them, yeah, I got 2 kids who live on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like it's not a thing for me.
How was your daughter?
She's 10.
How you feel about?
And she's like my best friend.
Okay.
Like she's like, we talk every day.
Yeah.
I text her, I love you at 7 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
It's an alarm on my phone.
Right.
It's just like a shortcut. Like it pop up, I hit send, boom. And obviously we're on a 3-hour time difference, so she'll text me back a little bit later, whatever the case may be. But me and my daughter were able to develop a relationship early on, because I was with her mom to a point. We lived in the same house. She know like my dad is not like playing around. Like I care about like who my kids are as people.
Right.
Like I don't, like as an educator, like I'll be a damn fool if my kids are in school losing their minds. Yeah. Not doing what they need to do, but I'm trying to tell your child to do that. Yeah. I just don't think it's a good look. So that's another thing that I take pride in, because even like my son, like he was having like issues in daycare. And I knew it was because like the relationship me and his mom had, like he wasn't really seeing me a lot. And that was one of the things that also hurt me about my relationship with my son, is because I think he only sees me as a disciplinarian. Yeah. He don't see me as like the guy that other kids see me as. Right. He has been able to, but me and my son, like first interactions weren't like happy ones to me. Like it wasn't like a happy situation. And he named after my little brother because he was born a little bit after he got shot. Okay, so you referenced your little brother getting shot. Mm-hmm. Was he murdered as well, or no? Okay, my little brother here with me right now. All right. I'm just trying to. No. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like listen, I don't think people understand. Like my little brother is my dog. Yeah. No. Like my dog. Right. Okay. Like, and it was so crazy because like
he crying right now.
No, I might though, but no. Listen, like he got shot. Boom, and then I think my baby mom at the time was like 8 months. And I still didn't have a name for him because all my kids have my initials. Because my mom her name is Sandra D. Woodson. Mm-hmm. My name is Shakur Dante Woodson. Mm-hmm. And my daughter name is Suhaila Dakota Woodson. Mm-hmm. And my son, I wanted to make sure, he wasn't a junior, but I wanted to make sure his name had like some meaning. And my little brother name is Yusef. And I'm like, I got to make sure I keep the initials. So I just took the use off and just named him Seth Dean Woodson. And Dean didn't come because I was a dean. Me and his baby mom just agreed that like we felt that name, and then I ended up becoming a dean. It is a stereotype about black male educators being like the disciplinarian. Yeah. No, that's a thing for sure. Being deans, right? Like how do you feel about that? I actually love it and embrace it because I think it's the best way to build relationships with kids. Like as a person who like has been in a classroom and like see teachers in the classroom, they only get that lens. I get to see kids in the classroom. I get to see kids in the hallway. I get to see kids at lunch because 9 times out of 10 as a culture team member, like that's your post because that's where like some of the most wild things happen. I get to see kids at recess if the school has it. I get to see kids when they are in trouble and get to like look them in their eyes and like have serious conversations with them. Like, yo, these decisions that you're making right now in middle school can impact your life ultimately forever. So it's like, I love having those like conversations with kids. I love like being in that like space because I wish I had somebody saying that type shit to me.
What's the most difficult obstacle when it comes to black males in the public school? What is the obstacle that we need to get through?
The obstacle that I know is lack of resources. We have been put in a situation, black males, right, where we like get diagnosed for everything. ADHD, ODD, like all of these different things, right, that like hinder us from learning. or that like where we need extra like something to like be able to, or people to feel us capable to learn. And I think like if we had resources where we had like school psychiatrists, we had like a person that is specifically, one thing I do love about KIPP is like they try to get into the community as much as possible. I feel like we should have a person in every school that is designated and that like talks about and tries to figure out like kids' lives outside of school. Whether it's like if they homeless, whether if like they need clothing and food for the family and stuff like that. I feel like if people don't have that type of shit to worry about, learning would be easier. Like if I got 4 brothers at the crib and I know my mom fucking gets on the bus to go to work,
okay,
I know we don't have it, right?
Yeah.
right.
So I'm going home hungry.
Yeah.
I'm going home having to be a big brother / dad.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if I get an A or a B on this test right now. That's not my priority.
Right.
My priority is my family.
Right.
My priority is surviving, especially in Philly, bro. Like, if my kids lived here, they would never be on public transportation. People get killed on them Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People getting killed, getting in the cars and getting ready to go to school. So like, kids in our city ain't thinking about, damn, Mr. Johnson about to give us a fucking quiz.
Right.
They not thinking about that.
Yeah.
They thinking about if my op gonna walk into this classroom. They thinking about if I'm gonna get a meal when I leave this joint. They sneak asking teachers like, yo, can I get some extra food so I can take to my crib? Like I see that type shit all the time.
So going back to the whole social media, you've developed this profile where you're a male educator, but they also see the vulnerable side of you joking with your mom, joking with joking with your brothers, you know, having this dynamic with your family. Where are you trying to go with the page?
Thing is, I did set some goals for myself.
Okay.
I did set some goals for myself. I told myself by the end of this year, I want to have 100K on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm 16,000 away from that. Yeah, inshallah, we get there.
One viral video. That's it.
Yeah, that's all it take. I be telling my homies that too. I be like, yo, it just take one viral.
Yeah. It might be 1,000.
So
one viral video.
So you got this video. I just saw it on Instagram. This joint got like 50-something million views, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like all it is, but it's so funny.
And I think the reason
it's
why
like
I got
contagious.
that,
Almost.
it's relatable. It's
like,
so relatable.
Like it's him, and he got his camera facing him, but it's like a preschooler in the camera, and he just cough like just no cover his mouth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and like that moment right there, right? Like that was so organic. All of my content, y'all, like you probably wouldn't believe me. All of my content is organic. I don't got no whiteboard for like my content. I don't like a lot of my like bangers have been like in the moment Jones I thought about.
Kids
I'm like,
are
all right,
funny.
let me just prop my phone up. Oh yeah, and another goal is
I
I gotta make an episode of Abbott Elementary. Like I got to.
Yeah.
I feel like, yo, that's like
You like the show?
Abbott
I love the
that
show.
joint is hilarious.
I love the show. And it also, again, it's like everything of who I am. It's a show based in Philly.
Yeah.
It's a show based on like teachers and people that teach in Philly.
Yeah.
What's the dude's name?
Who?
Everybody hate Chris.
Yeah, I think I'm funnier than all of them though. Like I swear to God. And I think like people would like Philly would be so happy to see me on that joint.
No doubt.
Like they probably wouldn't, but I know
no,
like
they would.
Listen, my block, my family, they would be geeked to see me on that joint. And like I told y'all, that's what I do it for. Like if my family, like we'll have a watch party for my Abbott Elementary show.
Yeah.
What's your favorite age to like
Middle school kids.
Middle school kids.
Yeah.
They the monsters.
They are. But that's the thing, right? Like what I do, if it wasn't no bad kids, I wouldn't have a job. Like if every kid was perfect, you wouldn't need a dean. You wouldn't need like a person to like suspend you.
Yeah.
And I feel like those kids, you get to do your best to shape their minds.
Yeah.
Like high school kids, they already feel like they know where they're going.
Yeah.
Middle school kids though, you could show them that, yo, you don't gotta be this clown.
And they
like,
you still impressionable, like all that, man.
Yeah, and they also, I think I love that age too, because they show you the most attention.
Yeah.
Like I talk about attention a lot because it's something now I just want to embrace. Like I love attention.
Yeah.
And like kids in that age, they will like, they don't shy away from like, yo, Mr. Woodson, you got that shit on today.
Yeah.
They don't shy away from like, yo, Mr. Woodson, you trying to kick up with that teacher because she look good? Like they don't shy away from stuff like that. So I'm like,
you trying
I'm cool with that. Yeah, like kids used to do that type stuff to me all the time.
like just listening to you, watch your content. It's just the relatability.
Yeah.
Like representation is
Hell
extremely
yeah.
important. And seeing
Absolutely.
somebody
Hell yeah.
that look like you, that understand you,
Mm-hmm.
think that's important because others don't have to navigate that space
Yeah.
to be understood.
Right.
You know, and I think a lot of our kids are running around feeling very, very misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids, the lingo is different now. The music is different now.
And that's why I love that age though, because like kids now abbreviate everything.
Oh my God.
Everything. And I'll be like, yo, am I getting old? But no, they just abbreviate everything.
Nah,
like everything they abbreviate. And I'll be like, yo, just all right, tell me what it is. So that way I could know, like, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, yeah, I'm in the end.
I got a daughter. I got a 4-year-old. She also doesn't live with me. Yeah. You know, she lives with her mom in Jersey. So it's a different dynamic. So anytime I see her, like I just left her, but anytime I see her, I have to be super dad.
Yeah.
I gotta be.
And I think that's the worst part for me.
Yeah.
I feel like, yo, I'm gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I do see my kids though, I gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
Because they not only looking at me, my baby mom's looking at me too.
Yeah. I'm learning how to just be myself. But it's taking me. Yeah. You know, it ain't perfect, but you be trying to be like the best dad to him.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna get you everything. I'm gonna do this, and then
you want to
like,
overcompensate. Right. You want to do all this because you feel like you need to do that to replace
I think
the
this
time.
week I'm chilling with my daughter. I had to learn how to be like, nah, like, it's a no. It's a no for the day.
You know, like I tell my kids, parent don't equal perfect.
Yeah.
Establishing trust through the decision making and like all of that is important.
That's one of the things I live by though, like especially like with like some of the like stuff that I deal with my baby moms. I've like programmed myself literally to be comfortable with like the uncomfortable because I know my kids inshallah are gonna grow up, right? Inshallah, and I'm perfectly prepared to have the conversations with them. Absolutely. I knew that from the second like this is a story that I don't tell like on podcasts and stuff, but
I told exclusives here.
Yeah, this is definitely an exclusive. I tell this story to my homies and stuff all the time, but my little brother, the dude saved my life like so many times. I don't think he probably know now because I say it all the time. Yeah. But I like when my second baby mom got pregnant, like I was like furious. I'm like, yo, you better not keep this baby, da da da. Like it was like a thing.
Wow.
You said why?
No, I said wow.
No, but yeah, like it was like a thing. And like I got like so like not big headed, but I got like so mad to the point where like we was at my crib just turning up one time, and I'm like, bro, fuck her. Like, I'm sorry, this is probably like too crazy for y'all, John, but I'm like, I'm not dealing with her, the baby. Like I'm like, yo, I'm not doing that shit. And my little brother like just like so serious, but like it wasn't like punitive. He's like, bro, you don't deal with them. Yeah, I'm not dealing with you. And I said.
Hey, good job, little bro.
Even in that moment, though, in that moment, I didn't think twice about it because I'm like, yo, bro, all right, my little brother tripping. Like, I can't not deal with my little brother. Even how bad I didn't want to do this. Yeah. Like, my little brother tell you, like, I didn't want to do it bad. Like, bad. Yeah. But he didn't hesitate. He like, bro, what? Nigga, we ain't them niggas. Like, you don't deal with them. I'm not dealing with you. On me. He said, like, wallahi and everything. I said, all right, bet.
One of the things that also I kind of see your content is mental health. Like where you at in a state of mental health and why you feel like it's necessary to post it about it.
Yeah, so that's like the best question for me. Cause a lot of people don't know, like I used to think people that talk about their feelings on social media were weirdos. I used to like me and like my homies would be like, yo, they crying on the net, they doing this, that, and the third on the net. They weird. Like they so weird. But then like again, a person that like appreciates attention. When I started to talk about it, I felt like it was necessary for me to talk about it. Cause I'm like, I'm not seeing, again, like I said, I said, all my content is organic. But I also told myself, no matter what I do, I don't want to do the same thing that like he doing or like she doing or they doing. Right. And I didn't see nobody doing it. Right. And I'm like, okay, cool. Why not? Why not? And I think the first thing that happened to me that had me thinking or talking about it was like after that Ramadan where I said like I was crying. And also like I was going through my first divorce at that time. Okay. So I'm like, damn, I'm really an emotional human being. Like I had to like realize it. Yeah. And shying away from it was the reason why I was this like, I had to like be aggressive with women. I had to like not like try to like fall in love and all of this. And then once I started to get in tune with my emotions, like understanding what love was, going through my first heartbreak, I'm like, no, I got a lot of emotions that I need to unpack. And I just made like a random video talking about it. And then that was the most story views I ever got.
Right.
Shit was like at like 5,000 people watched my story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. But also with the watching, it came like a flood of DMs where people like, I'm proud that you talking about this. We don't see black men doing it. Thank you.
So you was on this particular, you was talking about heartbreak. You was talking about.
I was talking about a multitude of things at that time. But then like other things were happening to me like in my life that were like traumatic. Like I lost like one of my like best friends.
Right.
And he's my old head, but I call him like my best friend because like he just was always around me.
Yeah.
And I feel like he taught me so much that like people don't know that like I learned from him.
Yeah.
Like I learned how to like deal with women a different way through him. Like I learned how to like get money a certain way with him. Like it was just like a lot of different things that I learned from him. And he also was like one of my biggest cheerleaders.
Right.
Like he never shied away from like, yo, Corey, you turning into this person, so own it. Yeah. Like he tell everybody that he feel like got like that aura or got like that motion. He never shies away from it. Like he's always like, bro, take advantage of it. Because a lot of people are not afforded that opportunity. And when he died, like it hit me like, it was something that I didn't expect. Like he's like a person like if you ask people from like my neighborhood, like for real, he was like a person that we didn't think would die. Like in a weird way. Yeah. I didn't think like he was gonna die. Like at least the way he died. Right. Or like I felt like he was gonna grow old and like he was gonna die from natural causes type shit. But he always would say like, bro, I think I'm gonna get cooked by a person because I'm dealing with they girl or something like that. Like he never thought like he would go out the way he did. Cause like he was a person who was in the street and he thought like he would go out through the street. And his death like rocked my neighborhood. Like I never seen nothing like it. Like he was like the glue to like a lot of relationships. And now like a lot of relationships have like deviated or things have happened because he not here.
Like what other outlets do you use for like mental health and stuff like that outside of social media? Like therapy or?
I lean on my supporters.
Okay.
Like I lean on them.
Yeah.
Cause I know, I mean, depending, like whoever, like if different people might look at it differently, but I know when I'm feeling some type of way, I could talk to my supporters. You develop a community on TikTok and they will always be looking for like what you provide for them. And if you give them something new, they're like, oh, we like it. And if they don't like it, they're gonna tell you. Yeah. Cause like I've tried a bunch of different things like to like figure out what my niche was. And it's been videos that like don't even get 1,000 views, but it's been videos that get over 1 million views. Prioritize those things. Like stay where like the attention at. And Instagram and TikTok both show me love, but TikTok started the love for me. Like it started showing me love. People started just to care about me as a person.
So when you share these kind of things like about your mental health and just how your emotions and feelings, like is there other black men like, yo, bro,
hell
like,
yeah,
I appreciate that, or I felt,
like, bro, my DMs range, and like I don't talk to my bros about it and stuff because they so immature. They'll be like, no biggie. But like it's like it ranges. Like I'm telling you, from like older women with like kids that are like almost my age. They like, yo, what can like is there any support or resource you could provide? Wow. Or it's like people that's just coming up in the education space that are black males. Like, yo, your content motivates me. Could you mentor me? Could you help me? And I mean, I'm also a firm believer in like you shouldn't do a lot of things that you're good at for free. Yeah. But I also try to help as many people as possible. Yeah. Because I feel like that's what Allah put me here for.
Absolutely.
To help people. Like I've been helping people all my life. All my life. And helping kids just was an added bonus.
Is your mom like that? Does she help a lot of people? Where'd you get
to
that
a
from?
fault. Like I used to like be mad at my mom for like helping people the way she did. Like my mom would like cook and then like offer like the leftovers to like the people on her block. And I used to be mad about that. I used to be like, what are you doing? She even like tries to do that stuff to this day.
Right.
But I think that's a lot of where like the nice, caring, giving spirit came from. Like I give like turkeys out in my community.
You guys do a lot of
community
stuff.
Yeah. So the Lana Young Summer League happens at Lana Young Recreation Center, and it started with my brother who's a Harlem Globetrotter.
Oh wow.
He's like a pro basketball player.
Yeah.
We run the league, and we've all like either played through it, but now like we organizing it, and like our league is like one of the like best leagues in the city, so to speak. And like we got a lot of like personalities, like characters, all that. Like all of that is for one thing. At the end of the summer, we put together a community day.
Wow.
Where we do a back to school drive.
Yeah.
We have like local cheerleaders and like performers come perform. We have a DJ. Our council person in that district is Dwight Evans and Cindy Bass. So they come out there and put like tables together for like the community just to have resources.
Yeah. Just the spirit of community,
Yeah.
help, giving back. It definitely kind of like exudes through everything.
Because we feel
you're
like that's
talking
what's
about.
thorough. Like that's gangster to us.
How do you get young kids to, or push other young black men to become new Shakurs, especially for the educational system?
I'm a firm believer like everybody's journey is different. Like that's something that like I feel like as Muslims, like it's something that like we should like understand.
Yeah.
And I don't never tell nobody that like you need to get done or do this in like 5 years. I don't never say stuff like that. Cause one of the worst kids I have ever dealt with in my life, I don't think you understand. This little girl was a nut. Like literally would just be mad and like come into the school and do weird things.
Yeah.
Now she's like going into her second year at LaSalle.
Wow.
And it's like, I never would have thought
Right.
she would have went to college,
Yeah.
let alone graduated
wow.
high school.
Yeah.
You ain't had no faith.
I had no faith, no faith. But again, like I said, like throughout my career, I had to like build perspective and perception. And it's like, my kid is not going to be who they were yesterday, regardless.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. They might be worse than what they was yesterday.
Yeah.
They might be better than what they was yesterday. I tell everybody like, yo, go through your journey. You never know what Allah got for you. You never know like what your God got for you.
You was part of a barbershop discussion.
Yeah.
With VP Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
It was like a
damn
big
that
deal.
shit over today.
So like it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Campaigning came to Philly, select group.
Yeah.
Talk about like how it happened, how you got noticed, how you got selected for the group to be in
So
there.
I am a part of content creators of City Hall.
Okay.
Councilman Isaiah Thomas is a really good like mentor for me at this like stage in my career. He's been in education.
Right.
He's stepped into like the political space and he's having success in both. And he reached out to me to be a part of like that group. And then like we had a bunch of meetings, a couple different meetings where like we was understanding like each other's like thing in the like social media space. Like it's not me, it's a bunch of other people, a bunch of other creators from Philly. And because I was a part of that group, when Kamala was here, like Isaiah Thomas and Jordan Harris, yeah, like they were like the leads for her campaign in like this area. It's funny, like when you deal with like elected officials like that, like you don't even know like you dealing with them until like the day of. So I got an email saying, we need you because you fit the description of a male that's under 40, black, and I forgot the other one, but it was 3 different things that like the box checked off, and I checked off all 3. And then I had to go through like this background check interview process where like the producer of like the barbershop talk asked me a couple questions, and it was like really trying to get like where I stood on specific situations and also what made me unique to be there.
Right.
And as an educator, like that was now like my space.
Okay.
And I was selected to have that conversation. And it's funny, I thought I was going to be talking to Obama. He was here that same day, campaigning, doing stuff.
Okay.
But again, they don't tell you who you talking to until 24 hours before it's time.
Yeah.
They don't even send you like where you got to go until 12 hours before the time.
Right.
And I had this like running joke because I think I went missing for like 12 hours.
You went
like,
missing from who?
Like people was texting me, right?
Right.
And I told my mom and I told people the Secret Service picked me up. And I had to go through like this intense like interview process.
The Secret Service picked
And
you up.
it looked good because like when I first like got to like the space or where we had the conversation, it was like Secret Service everywhere. Like they blocked off 5 blocks of like West Philly where we had to go to do the job. And it was like so weird for me to see it up close, me being a part of it. So I was like taking advantage of it. Like I was like recording like all the like snipers on the roofs and shit. Like it was like super intense.
Yeah.
And that was like the thing that helped like the joke like live out. But I think it was cool. Like it was really cool. Like being able to like just to get to talk to like that person that like people around the world revere.
Yeah.
And like we really had like a good conversation.
Yeah.
But I also understand like politicians just talk because they're trying to get elected. But Allah wanted me to be there also because again, like the conversation of education is the most dominant part from the interview.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant like that, and it didn't even mean to go that way until we start talking.
Yeah.
Like we had like pre-conversations, like we had a little bit, and they like, all right, you don't dominate the conversation. Like you only got 5 minutes to talk, do this, that, and the third. And I had the opportunity to sit right next to her. The Jordan Harris like kicked it off to me about like what I did, and it just made sense.
Yeah.
And like that's like one of like my highlights of 2024 for sure.
dope.
And also just like since like I've been starting like doing this stuff, like that's one of like the highlights. Like being able to talk to her and like be on like the campaign, because that wasn't like the only thing I did for her. I did like a couple other things.
Yeah, I saw some other like videos, like you know, just kind of
about like just voting. Like
Yeah.
I've always been like a voting advocate since like the pandemic, because I feel like Trump like did a lot of things that weren't like what we need.
Yeah.
And I felt like people were just confused, especially like my community, about like stimulus checks and all that. Like he didn't do that, bro. Like stop saying that. He was actually extremely against it.
He didn't give you your stimmy check, bro.
No, he didn't give us them Jones. Like he was like he was against them Jones.
Yeah.
And like ever since then, like I even went like to Washington to like march. Like I'm cold activist cuz when it comes to like my people.
Like, dang, man, I see.
Because I just don't want my people to be like confused.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more people, again, we have those resources, we talk about it, the better we'll be off. That's why when TikTok went away, it was like a little nutty for me. Because I'm like, yo, Philly was on display.
Yeah,
like,
you rep Philly hard, bro.
I'm telling you. Like Philly was on display in a light that I've never seen us on before. Like all the way from like the Philly goats, like the dances, the trends, the sounds, like our style, our lingo, like the YN stuff. Like we started that.
Yeah.
Like now the world is saying YN.
I seen it.
Now the world is saying no Diddy because of Philadelphians.
Yeah. It's been great, man. It's been a joy, man. Like I said, like just what you do, like it's I ran across somebody and they had like a post, like a bunch of black male educators, and like they listed you as like one of the more influential people.
No, I appreciate that. Shout out to my girl V too. She had made a video on TikTok about like teachers that are like aggressive with their kids, like YN teachers, and her video did really well. But she like mentioned me and like a teacher from like South Carolina and like some other teachers. But I thought that was dope, and her video did really well.
So towards the end, we kind of try to like lighten up a little bit with some questions and stuff like that. Just not related to some of the stuff we've been talking about. Cool. But all right. So what did you want to be when you were a kid?
An airplane pilot.
Airplane pilot? And
I wanted to be an airplane pilot because I felt like I did research as a kid. That's like that wasn't a job that I necessarily needed a degree for to make a lot of money. So I wanted to be a pilot just for those reasons alone.
So you was a ball player, right?
Yeah.
Give me your top 3 basketball players.
Like all time?
All time, top 3.
LeBron James, number 1. Wilt Chamberlain, number 2. Michael Jordan.
It seemed like you was playing it safe with that.
Yeah, I played it safe with the Michael Jordan one, but I think like
who was you thinking about putting above Mike?
I don't know. I just don't like putting Mike in the same conversation with LeBron.
Ooh.
Wow. Like I'm a LeBron dude. Like when they won the finals in 2016, like I got like a vid that went a little viral of me like screaming to the top of my lungs, like cursing and like doing everything. I'm like, I was so turned.
Yo, listen. It's a generation thing.
Yeah, and I included Wilt though, 1 because he from Philly, and 2, nobody ever scored a beam. Like Wilt numbers, you can't compare, and like I don't know why people don't include him as being the best player all time.
What's your favorite Philly slang word?
My favorite?
Your favorite?
Dickhead. Yeah. Like calling somebody a dickhead, funny as shit.
Yo, we got that one before.
And like you could say it with like aggression. You could say it like soft, like especially when you like arguing with somebody. Like dickhead. Like,
all right, so you married?
No.
You trying to get married?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So look, you new intended. You trying to show off what meal you cooking for?
I don't cook. And I don't shy away from that shit. I don't cook. I'm a Muslim man, bro. I don't cook. I was raised by my mom.
You a
like
Muslim?
She took care of me. Like when I was married, like I was taken care of. Like to the point where like I didn't have to learn.
Wait, Muslim men and not
like you're not making spaghetti, like nothing. No oodles and noodles, nothing.
I make some noodles. I make like I can make breakfast. Like I can make breakfast.
You make some pancakes.
You make pancakes?
Yeah, I make a dominant breakfast for sure. And I like I'm not gonna lie. No, like I help though. Like I help, but I'm not on it. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, like I'm too uptown sometimes. Like my show off be like me and my man go get like some Venus flowers for the girl or some shit like that.
Venus flowers.
Yeah, like we show off like that. Yeah. Like or like I'll invite them out or like her and her friends and like we'll have a really good time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like this is a new time, right? Like girls not impressed by like, you know how to cook.
Laying back. We start talking about
girls not impressed by like you know how to cook. Girls want somebody that's lit. Girls want somebody that's turned.
Okay.
They want somebody that, like, for what it's worth, people know.
All right, so how you impressing this woman?
This like let's say I'm trying to like marry her right now.
Yeah.
Like if I really feel
or just
her,
a date.
Yeah, right.
What's a date? What's
a date? A date?
What a date look like?
All right, so like we'll link. If I'm like super trying to impress her, like I'll get like a Uber, like a black truck or some cool shit. We'll go. I'll have flowers. I'll make sure she got flowers.
Where you going?
It all depends. Like if she look
like food.
She want food?
Yeah, where we going?
Food is easy though, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
How many people answer?
I'm gonna try to really put it together to where as though like she eating like Essie's. That's like the restaurant I got. She eating that John. And
wait, Belfield Essie's?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
That's one of the stores we got, but that's not the one we operate out of.
Okay.
But yeah. And I'm just like
you going it's gonna be flower presentation.
Yeah,
or,
like
all right.
You just rapping.
Yeah, like we like chicks like love when I talk. They do.
Okay.
They love when I talk. So I'm like,
this boy so Philly,
I'm making her laugh. I'm like just being also transparent with her, just like being honest and open. Like girls love that shit. Like I'm an open book. Like I don't like surprises, so I don't want to surprise you for real with like who I am.
Okay.
Like I am who I am when I'm that person.
Okay.
Like when I'm super duper locked into you, I'm super duper locked into you.
Yeah.
When I'm outside having it my way, I'm outside having it my way.
Right.
And and you either gonna be with it or you not gonna be with it.
Right.
Like I don't like the deal with like me like trying to get you to like me is too much. Right. I already know you like me by like you want to spend time with me.
So you're not cooking.
Not cooking. That shit out. Yeah. I learned though if like shorty like yo you gotta cook for me and
you like her you feeling her.
No,
you learn how to cook.
I've never cooked for none of my wives.
Okay.
Ever.
How many times you been married?
4.
All right.
Definitely a Philly. Definitely from Philly.
I'm gonna have to cut this, yo.
No,
they be trashing Philly, dog.
Definitely
like women be trashing.
So they gonna feel me though.
They go. All right.
I'm telling you, they gonna feel this, John.
The top black sitcom.
Sitcom.
Give us 3. Give us top 3.
No, I need one because I've been getting crucified about this.
Yeah, because he out of pocket.
I mean, I wouldn't argue with Martin.
Uh-huh.
Like I wouldn't argue against Martin. I wouldn't argue against like black sitcom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how people feel about this, but like the Cosby Show was like generational.
Thank you.
Yes.
Family Matters because Urkel is like a icon.
Okay.
Like he's like a person that like people won't forget.
Right.
And like what was like super impactful on my life though was Sister.
Sister. All right.
Yeah. Sister.
Now,
what was it about Sister that was super impactful?
It's just like the dynamic of like bringing in like a blended family.
Got
like,
you.
Again, like my mom was married a lot of times too,
man.
Like, growing up, and I'm like,
I never even
before any of the nonsense that happened. Cuz was like Fresh Prince, like Uncle Phil, like you know how J. Cole said like Uncle Phil was his dad. That's really my dad, bro. Like I was like, yo, and it was so relatable for me. Like I didn't have my pop. It was me and my mom. I did end up moving over to the West Coast when like I could, and Will Smith was cool as shit.
When Will dad ain't want him, the whole hood was crying, bro.
Yes, for sure.
Whole hood was like, what? You see what I'm saying? Like, it was stuff like that.
Like that hit home.
Right.
Like that hit home.
Right. All right. ATL or roll bounce?
How would anybody say roll bounce? How do you say roll bounce? It's nothing iconic from roll bounce. Well, besides like the one scene, but ATL is a classic.
ATL, all right.
Drumline or Remember the Titans?
It's not an easy one. Drumline or Remember the Titans? Well, about what you mean?
Which one? You got to pick
what's
one.
the better overall movie?
Yeah.
I mean, Remember the Titans? Like shit was like a real thing. Like that happened. Like that happened. But like the idea of like going to a school, like again, Nick Cannon in that joint, he was like the person that like a lot of people also wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like I changed my whole situation and I become the coolest nigga in school because of the girl I talked to.
Yeah.
Like, come on, gang. No, I'm tripping. That's Love Don't Cost a Thing. Drumline, yeah, I'm tripping. Drumline, that shit was hot. That's it. I was thinking about Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Yeah. All right, and the last one is Love and Basketball, Brown Sugar.
Like, damn. Like I fuck with both those movies though. People might not think that I really fuck with both of them.
You emotional too? Like,
yeah. Like I fuck with Brown Sugar heavy. Brown Sugar or what?
Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball. Damn. Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar too. I ain't like Love and Basketball's ending.
I did not like it. I just think Brown Sugar, again, emotional dude. It
so you like a lover boy? You a lover boy?
Hell yeah.
Why are you a lover boy?
Bro, I'm saying, I mean, we at the end,
Make
but
it make sense.
y'all ain't asked me about heartbreak. I'm telling you. Yeah.
You got a lot of heartbreak?
No, but I got some serious jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Serious jokes.
All right, man.
Like I got heartbreak, like I tell my homies that, like I got heartbreak that like will shake the internet.
Will shake the internet.
Yo, the internet is vast, bro.
Very vast.
On my life, this joint will shake the internet.
What about it is so different?
The people that are involved.
Yeah.
Who I am now. How it went down.
Yeah,
I got to that point.
We might have to do a second episode.
A joint specifically.
And the crazy part is, never mind. No,
go ahead.
Listen now.
And I told the story, but I'm never telling nobody where it's at.
Like what's the TikTok chick that got like 30 videos or whatever about?
Oh, Risa Tisa?
I don't know who she is.
I was going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no. Like this really shake the internet.
Is it getting anybody in trouble?
It wouldn't get nobody in trouble, but it might get people looked at differently.
Hey, listen, man. We got to run that one back, man.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate your time, bro.
No, for sure.
It's great meeting you, man. Like, you definitely got a charisma and energy that
Thank you.
Like you walk in the room and you know, we glad you people probably glad you in the room, you know. So sure. You care about your community, care about your family, man.
Yeah.
Inshallah, man, you know, Allah bless you.
Inshallah.
And you know, we're good, man. Third Party Podcast.
Season 3,
Season 3, episode 4.
Season 3, episode
Shakoor
4.
Woodson.